You may be seated, graduates. Good morning. Welcome to Edgewood High School and the commencement ceremony for the class of 2018. I am Dirk Ackerman, principal of Edgewood High School. I have greatly enjoyed watching these young men and ladies grow into the young adults that they are this morning. They have really been a successful class over the last 4 years. There's a tremendous amount of personality, there's a tremendous amount of intelligence, and there's a tremendous amount of talent with these boys and girls. I have enjoyed the time spent and the memories, and I thank you, the class of 2018, for those memories. To our audience, the class of 2018, the faculty, the administration, the Board of School Trustees, and I would like to request the courtesy and cooperation of the audience this morning as we honor each graduate respectfully. This is a formal ceremony that deserves the respect and grandeur of all of us. We respectfully request you refrain from shouting or using noisemakers of any kind throughout the ceremony. Each graduate and family member should have the opportunity to hear the speakers, to hear their name announced during the presentation of diplomas. Thank you in advance for your consideration as we celebrate this milestone with these young adults. At this time, it gives me great pleasure to introduce Mr. Spencer Thompson, class officer for the class of 2018.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Spencer Thompson, and it is my great honor and privilege to welcome all of you to Edgewood High School's graduation ceremony of 2018. First, I would like to address my peers and fellow graduates. Today is a very important day for all of us, as it marks our transition into adulthood. Some of us are headed straight into the workforce, some are joining the armed forces, and many of us are pursuing some sort of higher education. As you leave your homes in the familiar, I wish you the best of luck in your journey into the next chapter of your lives. You have all earned the seat in which you now sit as a graduating senior, and I am certain that you will continue to find success after high school if you put your mind to it. You all hold a very special place in my heart, as I've enjoyed getting to know you or of you in these past 4 years. So welcome, seniors. In about an hour, we will join our community as alumni and will now say to those we meet that we graduated from Edgewood in 2018. Now I would like to address everyone that made it possible for these graduates to be graduates. I'd like to thank every parent, grandparent, friend, family member, teacher, coach, administrator, office staff, and custodian who has nurtured, guided, and supported us on our paths through high school and made it possible for us to be here today in celebration. For without your dedication and hard work, the future would be a much more frightening sight. Once again, I welcome all of you attending Edgewood High School's 2018 graduation.
Good morning. My name is Michaela Deckard, and I am pleased to welcome the Edgewood High School 2018 Valedictorian, Hannah Steinmetz. Hannah is the daughter of Josh Steinmetz and Heather Spencer. Hannah challenged herself with a difficult workload in school, taking many AP and ACP classes, and she was also involved in many clubs and organizations, including Best Friends Club, Spanish Honor Society, and National Honor Society. Hannah participates in youth group and Bible study at Salisbury Christian Church and works at Growing Hearts Daycare and Preschool. Hannah plans on majoring in elementary education and will attend Indiana State University this fall, accompanied by scholarships that cover tuition, housing, and more for the next 4 years. Please help us congratulate the Edgewood High School class of 2018 valedictorian, Hannah Steinmetz.
Good morning, world, and all who inhabit it, or I guess the gym, whoever's in the gym. This morning, our class of 2018 graduates, and I'd just like to take a second to thank everyone here. Thank you to all the parents, grandparents, siblings, and other relatives and friends who have been with us the past 13 years, guiding us to this day in one way or another. You guys were where we began and where we first started our journey through learning and becoming the graduates we are today. I particularly want to thank my own parents for pushing me to succeed on my own terms. You guys knew I had different ideas of success than most kids, being the overachiever that I am. And you altered your ideas to push me. And next, I want to reach out to my grandparents and say thank you all for just being here. You guys were the ones I'd go to when I just wanted a break from everything. And you guys were the ones who congratulated me most in the end, making me feel accomplished on even the smallest things. Next, I want to thank Mr. Ackerman and Mr. Bland and Mr. Neal and all of the other staff, teachers, and staff members for setting the gym up for us today, and for guiding us through high school and all of our education prior to that. Without all of you, we wouldn't have a reason to be here today, and we wouldn't have a ceremony to enjoy. You were the ones who gave us those glorious successes or those dreadful shocks of reality. And in the end, you have led us here. I think one of the highlights of high school has been the jokes between the teachers and students, like Mr. Brewer's famous hello at the beginning of every class, or Mr. Winkler's endless coffee cup, which gets him through the dreadful ignorance of the freshmen and, honestly, the seniors. Overall, though, because of all of you, the teachers and staff, we graduate today and walk out with plans for success. Now, as we begin the day of celebrating high school, let's just look back at just what it was, starting with freshman year. To best sum that year up, I think it would be accurate to say the year was like the blue and black versus the gold and white dress, which, by the way, it was blue and black. Honestly, though, we might as well have all been dressed in yellow bodysuits and goggles like Drew's minions from Despicable Me, because nobody knew what was going on, and we really were just making it up as we went, hoping to laugh through the stress and confusion, and occasionally just needing to sing a song about bananas. Sophomore year came, and with it came bottle flipping, a mess of attempting to fit in by mastering the laws of physics, which in reality was just based on luck. Some of us found ourselves with the crowd of dabbers and bottle flippers. Others of us found ourselves in the library playing magic. And still others, including me, found ourselves in the in-between, still looking for our place in the new social world of high school. And junior year brought with it the notorious November 2016 presidential election, in which even us, the generation which shuts out politics because boring, found ourselves arguing which candidate would doom us less. This then led to a fascination with an object that spins between our fingers. Yes, the amazing fidget spinners. And finally, senior year. Senioritis hit, or maybe it hit us junior year. And some of us began figuring our future out while others of us waited for the opportunity to punch our friends after they looked down at our finger circle thing, which, by the way, I really don't know what that's called. However, through all 4 years, I think it's safe to say we share at least one thing in common. We all have the shortest attention spans of any class ever. Squirrel! On a serious note, though, our class did share some joy in our accomplishments. Whether it was hearing about the band going to state, or the choirs winning another competition, or stomping OV during homecoming week, we've all had success one way or another, even if it was just a personal goal. Like for me, it was only ever tripping during track practice on a hurdle. I can say, though, that I'm most proud of us for suffering through every first, like I step in 10th grade when they told us it would be done in 8th grade, or not getting a trip to the zoo in 3rd grade. But really, did we have to suffer through every first? But congrats, class of 18, for sticking it out when our education system tried to hold us back just a little bit. Now, after everything we've been through, what's next? As Imagine Dragons states in their song, Whatever It Takes, I'm an apostrophe, just a symbol to remind you that there's more to see. So consider today, graduation, an apostrophe for our lives. Everything before today was the beginning, and today is the apostrophe to say there's more to come. Either way, for some of us it's college, for others it's career and a family life. But either way, what comes next will lead to both ups and downs. But here's my advice. Whatever you do, live a successful life. And I'm not talking making $1 million. I'm talking a successful life is leaving the world better than you found it. It's not a goal to find a job that you love. It's to love life and help others love life. Expect struggles throughout life because they're coming. However, as Sylvester Stallone said in Rocky, Life's not about how hard of a hit you can give. It's about how many you can take and keep moving forward. Or, if you're more for the comedic approach, consider David Spade's thoughts from Joe Dirt. You gotta keep on keeping on. Either way, don't let your failures get you down, because in the end, the true success is whether you used your life to better others' lives. To be successful is to build others up, even as your tower may be crumbling. Then, when you look back years from now, you'll be able to say, yeah, life was good. Rough, but good. So follow Steve Carell's quote as Michael Scott in The Office. Don't ever, for any reason, do anything to anyone, for any reason, ever, no matter what. Thank you, and congrats, class of 2018.
Good morning, graduates and families. My name is Lauren Oxender, and I'm proud to announce two of my best friends as Edgewood High School's class of 2018 co-salutatorians, Madison Taylor Hartley and Michaela Lauren Deckard. Madison is the daughter of Darren and Melissa Hartley. Throughout high school, Madison has been involved in various activities, including National Honor Society, Leadership Academy, Best Friends Club, and French Club, and she served as French Honor Society's president this year. Outside of school, Madison developed a passion for volunteering and joined Monroe County Youth Council, volunteering regularly at the community kitchen. Last summer, she went on a mission trip to Ecuador to serve others and share the word of God. She was also part of the volleyball team and joined track as a high jumper during her last 2 years of high school. Next year, Madison is attending Samford University in Birmingham, Alabama to study pharmacy. She plans to earn her doctorate after 6 years and go on to specialize in clinical pharmacy, working in a doctor's office or hospital setting. While Madison is excited to start this new course of study, she also plans to continue her volunteer activities, join intramural sports, and most importantly, grow in her faith and fellowship with others. I have been blessed to be a friend of Madison for the past 10 years, and I am confident she will succeed in the future and continue to inspire others through her hard work and dedication. Congratulations, Madison. Michaela Deckard is the daughter of Michael Deckard and Michelle Hossey. Michaela has also been a member of multiple clubs in high school, including National Honor Society, Leadership Academy, Spanish Honor Society, and Best Friends Club, and she served as Spanish Club's treasurer and Future Farmers of America's president this year. Along with her school activities, Michaela had a major role in Monroe County's 4-H Club as president this year and participated in junior leaders in the horse judging team. She was highly involved at her church, South Union Christian Church, and she was a part of the youth group. Michaela was also a part of the track team and cross-country team throughout high school and was a state qualifier in cross-country this past year. Next year, Michaela will be attending Indiana University to study biology on a pre-med track. She hopes to one day become a doctor. Michaela has also been one of my best friends for many years, and I am so excited to see her future achievements. I know she will accomplish great things in college and encourage others to succeed alongside her. Congratulations, Michaela. Please help us congratulate Edgewood High School's class of 2018 co-salutatorians Madison Hartley and Michaela Deckard.
Good morning, everyone. Before we begin our speech, Michaela and I want to thank our family, friends, and teachers who have supported us along the way. I also want to thank my family that traveled from Florida and Michigan to be here. Thank you, Mom, Dad, and grandparents for being my biggest supporters.
Good morning, class of 2018. Take a second to look at the classmates around you. You may see faces you've known since elementary school, some relatively new, and others that you wish you had gotten better, and maybe even some that you don't want to see again. Over the last 720 days of high school, unforgettable memories have been made. Some stressful, like writing a paper before the day before it's due. Some annoying, like finding out that teachers don't let you in on the shortcuts until after you've struggled through the long way. And some exciting, like winning sports events and going on first dates. Now let's rewind to the beginning.
The first day of freshman year. We all stand up to say the pledge, utter the first few words, only to realize no one else says it out loud like we did in junior high, as if we didn't already feel out of place and extremely stressed. The year started out a little slippery for us all, right, Tyler? We were all just trying to figure out class schedules, where everything was, what was acceptable, which teachers were relaxed, and which ones said, I don't know, can you go to the bathroom? It was sort of like the blind leading the blind, but at least we were sticking together.
Sophomore year, we finally felt like we were part of the school. Most importantly, we weren't freshmen anymore. We began joining more clubs, talking to the upperclassmen, and dedicating ourselves to improving our grades. Freshman year was just a trial run, right? Quickly, we realized that we should have tried harder freshman year to make up for our grade in Mr. Cohn's chemistry class, and continued to risk our health by eating the extra credit sandwich. We were lucky to be finding our place in high school, figuring out our classes, and finding our group of friends. Unfortunately, our luck continued, making us the only class that got to take the ECA and ISTEP test all in 1 year. But overall, sophomore year is pretty much the forgotten one anyway.
Junior year is the year of more freedom. Most people start driving, which is easy to tell from the clanking of keys on lanyards all throughout the hallways. We were officially upperclassmen, which entitled us to a tad bit more authority and influence in the school, as well as the responsibilities that came with it. During my junior year, I decided to join the track team to be a high jumper. I quickly realized the track was very different from the team sport of volleyball that I had grown accustomed to. I had to find a way to motivate and push myself because I was competing individually. Since I was a newbie to the sport, I often got discouraged when comparing myself to other jumpers. Luckily, I had amazing teammates and coaches who reminded me to celebrate every little accomplishment, not to focus on what competitors were doing, but how I could improve personally. I loved getting to be on the track team because I saw incredibly self-motivated people, but also people that encouraged one another and seemed more excited for the victories of teammates than their own. No one was expected to be the best in the state. I never even made it past sectionals, but the focus was on improvement. Even though I didn't set any records or place very high at any meets, I felt like an important part of the team. Track taught me to avoid the comparison trap and focus on personal goals while cheering on teammates. As junior year brought AP classes, taking the SAT, career brainstorming, and possibly starting the college search, it could have been easy to compare to others while trying to pave our own path. We had to find that motivation within ourselves, but also learn to lean on each other for support as we headed into senior year.
Senior year. At this point, we thought to ourselves, just get through this next week and then it will be easier. Every week. The countdowns towards graduation were everywhere. I would like to personally congratulate every person who kept a countdown all year. Today is finally the day. As we finished senior year, I found an application for a term I learned in Mr. Winkler's psychology class, the mere exposure effect, which means that some of us really only like each other because we've seen each other every day for the past 12 years. Either way, I've made some amazing memories throughout senior year. One of my favorites was this fall when the girls' cross-country team went to state for the second time in Edgewood's history. On my own, I never would have ran at state. I had an amazing team who helped me to get there. With that in mind, I did not expect to be at the front of the pack during the race, and I wasn't. I was dead last, and not the kind of last where I was close enough to maybe get second to last. I was a couple minutes behind the next person. As I found myself in that position, I asked myself if I was disappointed. Was I upset that I seemed so slow? But I wasn't. I looked across the field, and I could see my teammates a few turns ahead of me and couldn't help but smile. I spent the rest of the race with a huge grin. In that moment, I was so incredibly proud of the work that we had put in to get here and how far the team and I had come. And that's how I think we should look at graduation. It doesn't matter what your class rank is, how close or far behind your grades were to someone else's. What's important is looking at how far we've come. Without this class, this team, our whole experience would have been different. When I finished my race at state, I did a cartwheel across the finish line. And that's how I feel about graduation right now. We did it. We finished the race. And now I just want to tell all of you how incredibly proud I am of our class. We have worked so hard, grown so much, and come so far.
Now as we begin a new learning experience, college, apprenticeships, or work, here is some advice from people who haven't been there yet and have no idea what they are talking about. But in all seriousness, I'm excited for each and every one of us. When we leave this building today, we are officially stepping into the rest of our lives as adults, some of which will become doctors, scientists, and engineers, others who will start families, build houses, fight fires, or develop jobs that don't even exist now. No matter where we end up, every person makes an impact. In the end, the level of education, the amount of money we make, our popularity, none of it matters. What matters are the experiences you've had, the relationships you've built, and the memories you've made. Don't let the world define what is successful and what isn't. Take time to celebrate each personal accomplishment and strive for growth, not perfection. Although continuing to learn in college or at work is essential for individual development, don't forget the importance of relationships and bringing out the best in others. It has been a blessing to be a part of such a wonderful class, and I hope that the times we've shared at Edgewood High School are only the beginning to what you can accomplish in a lifetime. Dr. Seuss said it best, "Today is your day, your mountain is waiting, so get on your way." Thank you, and congrats.
Thank you for your participation in that special moment. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, I am proud to introduce the instructional faculty of Steinsville Elementary School, Edgewood Primary School, Edgewood Intermediate School, Edgewood Junior High School, and Edgewood High School. These faculty members are directly behind the class of 2018, symbolic of the last 13 years. During this time, they have been educated and supported these young ladies and gentlemen. They have been in the classroom, on the field trips, sponsoring academic, sports, music, and many other activities, and a lot of robotics in the last couple years, teaching, mentoring, and counseling, supporting, even loving these students. They have been a very proud part of their lives and are elated to see their success that will be demonstrated when they graduate, walk across the stage, and receive their diplomas. Please stand to be recognized, all teachers and administrators of RBB. Please remain standing. Equally as proud, I would like to recognize all faculty and staff, administrators, instructional assistants, office personnel, coaches, bus drivers, office staff, cafeteria workers, custodians. There's a lot of people that make this all work. Former and present of Richland Bean Blossom Community School Corporation, please stand. Former and present, anyone? Thank you. These men and women have also spent numerous hours with your sons and daughters, making sure they arrived to school safely, communicated with parents, cleaned up messes, overseen programs, and many other duties. You may all have a seat. Thank you, RBB staff, for being the true driving force behind the success of education in the RBB community. One more round of applause for them, please. At this time, band members, please join your peers in the band. Under the direction of Mr. Aaron Wells, the band will play Cadillac of the Skies, arranged by the great movie composer, John Williams.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Madison Temple, and I'll be introducing our incredible guest speakers this morning. First, we have Ms. Donna Atkinson. She is the current Edgewood Junior High School principal, and sadly for us, will be retiring this year. She has been in the Richard Bean Blossom Community School Corporation for 29 years, and has also taught in 3 other districts for 8 additional years. She began as a home economics teacher in 1990 and then continued on to family and consumer sciences for her first 18 years. Her next 9 years spent at EJHS, she was an assistant principal and athletic supervisor. She finally ended her last 2 years as principal of Edgewood Junior High School. She has dedicated a total of 37 years to education. Ms. Donna Atkinson is also the recipient of the 2018 Lifetime Achievement Award for the Educators of the Year, Bloomington Chamber of Commerce's Franklin Initiative. Ms. Atkinson enjoys traveling and has spent time in Germany and Scandinavia for an European study tour as one of 10 Girl Scouts chosen for the program from the United States. She has also traveled around most of the U.S. and after retirement is looking forward to more traveling and spending time with her family. In addition to being an incredible educator, Ms. Donna Atkinson has been a Mustang parent since 1994 with 4 daughters, 1 German foreign exchange student, and 1 grandson graduating from Edgewood High School. She has been an honor to the RBBC School Corporation, and I'm delighted to introduce our guest speaker, Ms. Donna Atkinson.
That makes me tired. Not really. I'm going to dare you students today. I dare you often heard in childhood usually meant something silly or foolish or even dangerous that was going to be suggested that you were expected to do. When I mention discipline, most of you will think of an office visit, though you have to know, I truly tell you, we do not remember from one year to the next, or especially after you leave that building, who was there and who was not. It's the truth. We wipe the slate clean and move on. In those roles in 11 years in the office, there will be no longer an action of going to the office for me, nor you. We are graduating today. For the 17 years in Family and Consumer Sciences, there were a lot of lessons taught in daily living skills. You knew me as an administrator. There are many people in the audience that knew me as a teacher. You will hear a few parts of those lessons as a teacher, and you'll even hear a few thoughts about mom, what mom would say. I'm daring you today to plan a disciplined life. I was presented 47 years ago at my senior honor night a book called I Dare You by William H. Danforth, who was the president of the Ralston Purina Company, and wrote this book in 1931. I dare you to be your best, to live a fourfold life and serve others. The fourfold life is to think tall, smile tall, stand tall, and live tall. It is a daring book that leads you to physical, mental, social, and spiritual adventures using your body, mind, brain, and soul. I'm daring you to use the positive discipline today, not in the term that it's normally meant, to encourage you to drive your life and not let life drive you. To make a popular phrase more school appropriate, stuff happens. There will be missed opportunities, jobs not won or jobs lost, relationships that won't make it, illness, surgeries, accidents, even death. A life-altering situation that could put you down and out or make you stronger. There are many posters and bumper stickers out there that all basically say, life is what you make of it. So I offer this guidance and encouragement. Number 1, think tall. Improve your situations. Achieve more than you thought possible. Be an expert in your field, whatever it is, and share your passions. Please think tall before you act. Reread before you push the send button. If you have strong emotions surfacing, wait 24 hours before you do anything. Click on unfriend, turn the other cheek, block, or just plain unload that app. You don't need the negative in your life. Think tall when you make decisions. Make lists, weigh the options, and ask yourself, would my parents or grandparents like to read this headline in the newspaper? Ask, will I like myself when this is all over with and the consequences occur? Be prepared and plan ahead for all situations. Remove offensive, prejudicial, biased, derogatory language from your thought process so that it never slips out in your speech. Say what you mean and mean what you say. Follow through. I dare you to smile tall. My superintendent on this honor night told me, you are the smilingest kid I've ever seen when I came up to get that I Dare You award. Smile when you get up. Smile at people all day, especially strangers. Smile when you need to get yourself or someone else in a better mood. And smile when you go to bed. You've made it through another day. And when you smile at others, I dare you to shake hands. It's better than a fist bump. A good, firm handshake is your greeting, your farewell, your tribute for a job well done, or the sign that you will keep your word that you've promised. Smile at those who most need it and may not return the smile. Be a friend to everyone. Thirdly, I dare you to stand tall. Get your chin up, your shoulders back, one foot in front of the other. Your physical body will be in better shape, both inside and out, if you pay attention to how you stand, walk, and sit. My veteran Marine Corps father would always give us instructions on our posture and how to stand, walk, but he also gave us instructions to stand tall with our character. Standing tall is to also be proud of yourself for what you've accomplished, what you believe in, and where you're going. Do not be afraid to stand tall for others who need encouragement and help. Live a life of daring and sharing. Stand for something or you're going to fall for anything. Stand for your rights, but don't infringe on anyone else's rights. Never seek revenge and forgive others. Admit your mistakes and ask others to forgive you. Above all, be kind. I dare you to live tall. It's a big, beautiful world out there, and it may get hard, but you can be courageous. This too shall pass, may be said to you. In difficult situations, the situation may resolve and it may not. It will get easier, however, and you can make the best of anything that life throws your way. There are unseen, unknown circumstances before you. There was no way for me to know, graduating at the age of 18, that today I would be standing here on this stage after following many personal and professional paths. My registered nurse mother always said to me, trying to dare me to not give up and always do my best, I'd say, I can't. She'd say, can't, never did anything but lay down in a ditch and die. Looking back, I have been placed in the right places at the right times by my Heavenly Father's plan, and I've dared to make the best of every situation. So set your goals and go after them. To take full advantage of this fourfold life, you will be disciplined. You have to be. I dare you to be disciplined. I mean the positive kind. Discipline can be a set of expectations that are required by a governing entity, including yourself, groups, classes, fields, industries, and societies. Note that the first one there is self. You must discipline yourself. Danforth lists 4 again, physical, social, and spiritual, mental parts to his I Dare You program. Physical discipline means you eat, sleep, and rest and exercise well, that you know yourself and can listen to your body, because it will give you signals that you need to change one of those 4 areas. Now the home ec part's going to come out here, family and consumer sciences. Eat 3 small meals a day. Bill's still trying to do that. Eat by color. The more variety in the color of your foods, the more nutrients you're going to get. The color is an indication of the nutrients. Count the colors, not the calories. Watch portion sizes. There are no bad foods, but there are a lot of foods that are much better than any others. Get a regular sleep pattern. Teenagers are notorious not to do this, but eventually you need to do it. Get up and go to bed and then get up within 1 hour of a set pattern that you have all the time. Lack of sleep leads to poor health and awareness issues. Schedule downtime for rest and leisure. All work and no play will exhaust you. Leave work at work so your attention on rejuvenation is for you, home, and family. Get regular exercise. Daily enjoyable activity is necessary for physical wellness. If you get 5 pounds over your set weight, this is my mother's rule, 5 pounds over that weight you feel best at, get it back off then. Exercise more, eat less. The mental discipline requires you to use your brain. Now, you may think it's used up right now, but many of you still have homework and assignments in your future. Reading is the most powerful tool to keep your brain active. You're going to need it. Puzzles, books, board games, crafts, all those household items you have to read directions for and put together, toys in your future, you have to read. Navigating the internet, applying for a job, researching the best place to live, research which car suits you, ordering your groceries online now. It will require your brain to be in top shape. Where there's a will, there's a way. Think creatively, problem solve, troubleshoot, and find solutions. Number 3, social discipline requires that you're conscious of and include other people. Choose to serve others. Volunteer to help wherever you can, whenever you can. By the way, volunteer to students, sometimes they don't get it, it's no pay. Will you volunteer to do this? How much do I get paid? Nothing. Volunteer is no pay, okay? Take care of yourself so you can care for others and the earth. A teaching precept: reduce, reuse, recycle. Save the earth. Wear it out, make it do, or do without. This does not require that every hour of every day is scheduled with some activity or with other people. You need downtime, even alone time. You need to find like-minded friends. Your own behavior code is the same. You need to surround yourself with positive people who will dare you to begin the most positive endeavors and see you through to the finish. I can personally verify you, it's easier to share the load in life, so secure a support system in your family and friends. Everybody needs somebody sometime. Spiritual discipline requires that you lift your thoughts above the common everyday place. You need to have a set of beliefs, live by a moral and an ethical code. When you have a hunger for the best in life, a craving to grow, to build your character, and to have a pause for your passion, there will be a new significance to the unseen things in life. You may have or will find a religion. You may have or will find a house of worship. You will need courage to challenge what is inside of you, to climb to spiritual heights. Be true to yourself and fulfill your commitments. Live at your best. Your spiritual investments will be repaid thousandfold. My last 2 directives are my own, not Danforth's. Number 1, people of the world come in all shapes, colors, and sizes. I encourage you to travel. Observe, experience the colors of different peoples and their places and their cultures. I grew up with, see the USA in your Chevrolet. But you can use any vehicle you want. My dad would have said, no, it had to be a Chevrolet, but you can go anywhere at any time in any vehicle you want. Take a plane, a train, a ship, or a bus to parts unknown. Your life's experiences will become ever more global and ever more important for our global jobs, trade, economy, and communications. 4th, or my 2nd precept, find your complementary partner. If you know Bill, you know I have the funny guy by my side. I am the straight shooter of the pair. He is the first who sees the humor. We are a good pair 90% of the time. Okay. This will illustrate to you how he can bring light to the most critical situation of our lives. Our youngest of 4 daughters, 4 again, was 2 years old and very ill for many days. We had gone to the Blackford County Hospital in Hartford City, Indiana, a very small one, to the regional hospital, Ball Memorial in Muncie, Indiana, who then got us up one morning and we made a very quick ambulance ride to Riley Children's Hospital in Indianapolis. We sat in the parents' waiting room getting the updates. She coded when they intubated. She will go to the ICU now. She will be on peritoneal dialysis because her kidneys are shutting down. When we finally got to see her in the ICU, there were wires, monitors, beeps, and whooshing machines. They told us to go ahead and talk to her, that she would be able to hear us even though that she was in a medically induced coma. After our initial shock, Bill looked at me and said in his joking way, "Wouldn't you think They can afford all these machines and the tubes and everything else in this room. They could find something better than a styrofoam cup to hold that tube up on her belly. And that's exactly what it was, a styrofoam cup. That made the moment light. The critical moment became bearable. So I dare you to be patient and find your complementary partner for life. I dare you all to have a disciplined life. You do the driving for your life. I'm even going to double dare you. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Atkinson. That was wonderful. Next, we have Miss Angela O'Malley. She will be our second guest speaker this morning. Miss O'Malley has taught, encouraged, and influenced art at Edgewood High School for 31 years and is also retiring this year. She began as a student teacher here at Edgewood at the beginning of her career and loved it too much to leave. Miss Angela O'Malley has been honored many times for her devotion to education, such as being accepted into the Teachers Institute of Contemporary Art in Chicago, as well as being awarded Teacher of the Year from Sam's Club. She is also co-president of the Teachers Association for Art and takes on many roles within Edgewood, including prom planning and being a teacher class representative. Ms. O'Malley has always been an advocate in students, teaching, and education, and believes in hard work from both students and teachers. Ms. O'Malley's love for art has inspired many students to achieve incredible successes within their own art creations and their appreciation for art as a whole. It is my honor to introduce our guest speaker, Ms. Angela O'Malley.
Thank you, Madison. With apologies to the English department, I self-report that my speech is long on statement and short on exposition and transition, in hopes that brevity will foster clarity and reduce boredom. Okay? Advise, inspire, challenge. These are the main characteristics of a commencement address. Hopefully, they are extensions of what has happened on a near daily basis in your classrooms. Certainly, it was my goal to consistently challenge and inspire and to advise as needed. Points of advice. Do not deny the power of nature. If you must wear shorts when it is sub-zero, then keep a jacket and sweatpants in the back seat of your car. Keep an emergency kit in the trunk. Always know where to find a real flashlight. There will always be storms and power outages. You are likely to have car trouble at least once. It's soon going to be your own responsibility to keep yourself safe and warm. Eventually, it is likely others will also depend on you. So start early, developing thoughtful, practical habits. Don't put yourself in harm's way. Accept responsibility for your actions, for better or worse. Accept both praise and blame when justified. Be honest as to your achievements and your failures. You will never be a true adult if you maintain childish notions of failure. You didn't do poorly in my class because I didn't like you. You did poorly because you were absent too often to get your work done, or you were present but didn't do the work or did it poorly. Future employers are likely to have the same attitude, expecting an honest day's work for an honest day's pay. Use technology effectively and wisely. Communicate often in positive, meaningful ways. Support, share. Don't ridicule, coerce, or hurt. Again, this comes back to responsibility. As adults, you are now legally responsible for your actions. Like nature's ever-evolving landscape, there is a vast array of media content available to you. Be aware of just how productive and appropriate your device time is. Respect the difference between work and leisure. Continue to grow as individuals. Cultivate yourselves. Most of you are at the upper range of your physical growth. Changes in length and location of hair and general fitness will become your new variables. That could get grim. But you know what? The capacity of the heart and mind are essentially infinite. Use that potential to become a better, more resilient person. Be generous and kind. Try to forge strong, durable relationships that will sustain you when life is not cooperating. There will be hard times. You must develop coping strategies to come through healthy and whole. There will always be rabbit holes, and you need to develop the intellectual capacity and the emotional fortitude to avoid them, or to crawl back out. I doubt it's a good idea to burden you with more advice. Some of you are fairly immune to it. Others of you have already achieved sustaining relationships. You exhibit common sense. You believe in self-improvement, and you would never consider misusing technology. Congratulations, you are off to a great start. Inspiration is a tougher category as it tends to be so individual. It's impossible for me to anticipate what will inspire you. But I can say with certainty that positive inspiration is valuable. Ideas, images, and artifacts have been inspirational for me. Books are a great source of ideas and information. Don't overlook reading. It doesn't matter whether you read fact or fiction, as long as you know the difference. Reading is a convenient, inexpensive habit that feeds your brain. It's vital that you read to your children, both for strengthening the bond between parent and child, and for preparing them to become readers and thereby successful learners. I was dragged to many museums as a child, and eventually I developed a joy in looking. Nowadays, I look harder at fewer objects, thinking more about how they were made and what they mean. I try to consider how the artist is manipulating the viewer towards a specific meaning. George Bernard Shaw said, "After torture, art persuades the most." Well, of course, art is far more pleasant than torture, and art has the advantage of being timeless, the ability to influence generation after generation. Art offers a challenging antidote to reality through its ability to present and apparently unify competing ideas. Art can simultaneously reinforce traditional cultural values while undermining them. I find it inspirational that by nibbling supposed norms, art is exposing unfounded truths and encouraging individuals to question, to rethink their beliefs. I agree with Brecht's statement that art is not a mirror to reflect reality, but a hammer with which to shape it. If reality is being shaped by art, then it's incumbent on us to consider and analyze the validity of that shaping. Is it benign or toxic? I encourage you to remain or to become artists and scientists. Backyard astronomy or naturalism are inexpensive, rewarding hobbies for developing a body of knowledge, for sharing, and for growing through contact with like-minded folk. Recent studies verify that being outside, interacting with nature is truly beneficial emotionally and physically. Take a walk when you're stressed. Let nature help you keep perspective. Finally, the challenges. Intended as litanies that you will continually pick yourself up and keep moving forward. Make good decisions. Be responsible. Never stop being inspired. Continue to grow your heart and your mind. Seek greatness in books and art. Don't overlook the new or the challenging. To get off this imperiled rock, we'll need more Einsteins, Goddards, and Hawkings. To preserve the present and the future, we'll need more Meads, Atwoods, and Goodalls. Go to concerts and gallery walks, picnic in the parks, fish, watch the sky, count birds, save turtles, take care of the world. Please don't let the whales and elephants disappear. Follow current events. Think for yourselves. Don't rely on biased sources. Let me repeat that. Don't rely on biased sources. Think for yourself. Involve yourself. Support causes. Develop a voice and use it. Get woke, stay woke. I wish you all the best. It has been a pleasure.
The class of 2018 has been awarded over $1.2 million in scholarships and received numerous honors and awards throughout this and previous years. At this time, I would like for all students that have received a scholarship, honor, or an award, please stand to be recognized. Michaela Deckard, please remain standing. The rest may be seated. Edgewood High School is proud to recognize the William Earl Brown recipient. William Earl Brown went to school in Richland Township and graduated from Indiana University. This scholarship goes to one Edgewood senior who will attend IU. Selection is based on financial need, academic achievement, personal goals, character, leadership, and citizenship. The Brown Scholarship pays for the total cost of attendance at IU for 1 year. This year's recipient of the William Earl Brown Scholarship is Michaela Deckard. You may be seated. Next, I would like to take a moment on this occasion to recognize a group of young men and women who have made the commitment to serving our country in the U.S. Armed Forces. Would all of those individuals please rise? You may be seated. Thank you and congratulations.
Class of 2018, the time has arrived. Row 1, would you please stand up and approach the stage? Chloe Marie Abbott. Taylor Brianne Acuff. Mackenzie Joe Alexander. Alexis Lynn Arthur. Cullen Matthew Ash. Elizabeth Marie Babbert. Caitlin Jane Baker. Michaela Ray Baxter. Carly Michelle Bennett. Noah Timothy Bice. Benjamin H. Bledsoe. Michaela Ray Booker. Colton Robert Bowman. Tyler L. Breeden. Xavier T. Bricky. Bailey Elizabeth Brooks. Noah Brooks. Tyler James Calvin. Jocelyn D. Campbell. Trevor Scott Cantrell. Desiree L. Carter. Joshua A. Chasteen. Row 2, would you please rise and come forward? Logan Asher Clark. Paige Elizabeth Clark. Sydney Mariah Clark. Jace Hunter Collier. Roger Curtis Cowden. Emily Rachel Jane Chrismore. Jarrett Deward Kreitz. Jeffrey Dwayne Kreitz. Alexis Leanne Deckard. Michaela Lauren Deckard. Noah Allen Deal. Malaya Elise Dorsey. Austin Tyler Drake. Isaac M. Dublin. Samuel Ray England. Destiny Lee Evans. Abigail Vay Farley. Martin Reese Fehrenbach. Briley Hayden Fleetwood. Cole Micah Flora. Devin Anthony Flood. Stephanie Renee Foster. Annie E. Francis. Annabelle Ann French. Adrian Rose Fritsch. Cameron Matthew Gage. Marybeth Leah Gardner. Row 3, please rise and come forward. Caitlin J. Gillespie. Eric Scott Glidden. Brandon Edward Gobin. Andrew T. Grafe. Jeffrey A. Gribble. Christina Reed Griffith. Jason P. Grubb. Daniel Stephen Gundolf. Michael Jacob Gundolf. Logan Kenneth Guzik. Cheyenne Sierra Hale. Cole N. Hall. Matthew A. Hammond. Shauna Marie Hammond. Samantha Paige Hampton. Robert Gordon Hanna. Samuel Hannon. Susan Macy Harris. Madison Taylor Hartley. Kara A. Hatton. Morin L. Haverfield. Tessa Jordan Hawkins. Emily Jane Hetty. Jordan Levi Hetty. Kason Paige Herzog. Ryan J. Hyatt. Ethan Cole Hill. Hannah Lee Hitchcox. Vincent Michael Earl Holbrook. Row 4, please rise and come forward. Benjamin T. Holmes. Sarah Holt. Chayton R. Howard. Tyler J. Hudson. Alexandria K. Hubner. Jacob Eugene Hetty. Jacob Michael Hupp. Madison Raven Ingram. Brianne Nicole Jackson. Megan Nicole Gerals. Dylan C. Johnson. Victoria Ellen Johnson. Emma Gail Johnson. Jordan A. Jones. Terry Leanne Keller. Shelby Marie Kimball. Emily K. Kennett. Tiana Jeanette May Colby. Zachary Joseph Kovach. Zachary David Lane. Cindy Gail Lang. Jenna Rose LaRoche. Alexis N. Laughlin. Kelsey Ann Lavender. Kathy Lynn Livingston. Tyler James Lunn. John C. Magerlin. Micaiah Carol Mann. Row 5, please rise and come forward. Haley Nicole Martin. Elena G. Matavuli. Jacob Allen Morrow. Katie Marie Nialta Mayfield. Brittany N. McCullough. James C. Maguki. Daniel Jarrett Meadows. Nathaniel T. Miles. Megan Marie Mishler. Elizabeth Jean Montgomery. Carissa Shea Moriarty. Madison Page Morrow. Devin M. Mosier. Shelby Cheyenne Murray. Brianna Erin Myers. Colton T. Nelson. Caleb David Norris. Whitney Nicole Nunn. Noah Wayne Oliver. Hunter James O'Neill. Lauren Ann Oxender. Josephine Lauren Pace. Cheyenne May Halbo Pennington. Kylie Renee Paris. Claire Lee Phillips. Damian Robert Lee Phillips. Mason Lee Powers. Haley Nicole Pertlebaugh. Row 6, please rise and come forward. Madison Danielle Pertlebaugh. Anna Elizabeth Rademacher. Tiernan J. Randall. Dylan A. Raper. Isaiah Alexander Reeves. Holly Elizabeth Richardson. Alexander F. Rodriguez. Kirsten Lene Rogers. Kirsten Lee Schooling. Jacob A. Shelton. Malia Brooke Shockney. Kyla Marie Nicole Shorter. Maria Dawn Schultz. Benjamin Sims. Dylan Thomas Smith. Noah A. Smith. Alexandria McKinley Sage South. Alexandria Marie Spahn. Jacob Stein. Hannah Michelle Steinmetz. Caleb Lee Stiles. Sydney Jean Stockman. Tyler B. Strickland. Joel David Strickler. Ryan Edward Stuffle. Zane Michael Sullivan. Sarah Madison Temple. Kennedy Lynn Terrell. Peyton Scott Thomas. Row 7, please come forward. Jacob Russell Thompson. Spencer Andrew Thompson. Carson T. Thummel. Caleb A. Trader. Sarah Rosa Usry. Jessica N. Van Allen. Logan S. Walden. Travis D. Webb. Brock West. Ashley N. Weaver. Evan Joseph Whitlow. Adam Marshall Wigington. Hallie Morgan Williams. Erica Michelle Williamson. Tanner W. Willis. Chandler J. Wise. Vanessa Lorraine Wu. Ashley J. Woods. Aaron Scott Worthington. Chase Daniel Wright. Dulce M. Wright. Emily Olivia Myrie Wright.
Ladies and gentlemen in the class of 2018. Class of 2018, would you please stand? Dr. Wilcox, as the principal of Edgewood High School, it gives me great pleasure and pride to present another outstanding class, the class of 2018. These young men and women are true representatives of the success of this community and the RBB School Corporation. They proudly stand ready to take the next step into the future. Good luck, graduates.
Graduating class of 2018, by the power vested in me by the great state of Indiana and the RBB CSC Board of Trustees, I hereby declare you the 54th graduating class of EHS, graduated and forever alumni of Edgewood High School. You may turn your tassels.
Class of 2018, I hope we have already started our individuals' journeys to lead for the rest of our lives, whether that be to college, straight into a career, or to the military. I know we will all succeed. Our story is not over yet. We leave each other as individuals, yet connected by the memories we've made over the years, working towards June 2nd, 2018. So for the last time, good luck and congratulations to the class of 2018.